Thank you very much, everybody. It's great to be here today. Google has been mentioned a lot today, which is great. So what I'd like to talk to you today about is beyond productivity. We've had the mobile generation, mobile pushing out into everywhere. We've had cloud. So what's next? What's going to come next? I've been with Google 5 years. I've seen amazing change in retail. We've talked about some of the changes that are coming down today. I went to see a retailer yesterday, actually, and they were laying out their 5-year plan. And I thought that was very optimistic, really, because if we listen to what we've talked about today, who knows what's going to happen in 5 years? So one thing that has happened over the last 5 years, just something I picked up in Retail Week recently, retail success is all about the teams. The days when it's just about the founder to make something a success are probably over. You still need a great founder, but you need a great team that is connected. And it's not just the head office workers you need connected. It's everybody in the organisation you need connected. So one of the big trends we've seen in retail is that businesses are connecting everybody. So from the CEO down to the head office colleague, to the store worker, to the manufacturing colleague, to the security guard. And connecting everybody gives you, so it's a huge advantage going forward. And people get their kudos. They don't want to turn up to work anymore just to have a job, a 4-hour shift, an 8-hour shift. They want to be connected. They want to get the message from the CEO. They want to have the capability of connecting to their colleagues directly and maybe messaging back to the CEO. So, the lucky thing is we're trying to connect all these people. We've done that with businesses like John Lewis, who've connected all their 90,000 partners, and Morrison's and All Saints and others. The great thing is they're all wandering around with a supercomputer in their pockets. So there's, I'll give you some great stats on mobiles. You've probably seen some of these today, but 2 billion mobiles out there today. In the short to medium term, we think that's going to 5 billion. So that it's extraordinary, the ubiquity of mobile phones. The average American looks at their mobile phone 150 times a day. That's once every 6.5 minutes. And the average college student in the US spends 9 hours on their mobile. So I'm not sure what's happening with evolution. I don't know where we're going with this, but these are some of the stats from mobiles. So, and 70% of all interactions on the internet, digital, are mobile interactions. So mobile is the internet. Mobile has eaten the internet. The internet is mobile. And it's been great for mobile. It's been great for retail to give workers productivity through mobiles. Also, the second thing that's really happened is cloud. So I'm telling you things you already know about, but the launch of cloud products and services, so you have the infrastructure managed by somebody else. You can deliver secure apps simply, cost-effectively to anybody. And up there we've got a picture of a couple of guys from Woolworths Australia. So this is one of the organisations we've connected. Woolworths Australia, it always amazes me, they've got 220,000 employees. There's only 24 million people in Australia, so 1 in every 100 person in Australia works for Woolworths. And we've connected all of these guys. So they can connect with their colleagues. These two are butchers, so they have a butcher community and they can share best practice. They can socially connect. So it's been a great thing for them to give identity to all those colleagues who traditionally in retail have been unconnected in the past. You can connect them all using Google Tools. But what's happening next? Everyone knows that. We've had mobile. We've had the cloud. What's happening next? And I think some of the other speakers have talked about this a bit today. It's intelligence, isn't it? It's software that learns as it goes and maybe give you different results depending upon the inputs coming into that software. So, and that's been enabled by this huge machine learning and artificial intelligence push that's coming in the industry, the massive amounts of data that's being collected. So I don't know if people here perhaps would have seen what happened with Go earlier this year in March. So Go is an incredibly complicated game. There's more moves in Go than there are atoms in the universe. So I don't know how you measure that. I don't know who came up with that stat, but there's 10 to the 80 atoms in the universe. In Go with moves, there's 10 to the 170, the power of 170. What that means is you can never program every move in Go. It's an incredibly difficult game. Basically, you play until someone's surrounded white or black, and basically one player or the other gives up. It's a really, really difficult game to play. And earlier this year, Google played the world champion, Lee Sedol. We played him in 5 games, and the AlphaGo product, which came from DeepMind, one of Google's businesses, beat him 4-1. And that is incredible. In artificial intelligence terms, that wasn't supposed to happen for another 10 years. That something this complex could happen. And the way it won was part of what happened. It reacted to the way Lee Sedol played. So it made some moves that reacted to exactly what he was doing and then came up with complementary moves. Lee Sedol did not think he was going to lose. He lost 4-1. So where does that leave us? Google, we've mentioned many, many products from Google today. There's about 8 products from Google which have over 1 billion users at the moment, which is quite extraordinary, I think. Some of them are up on stage today. I'm sure you would have used some of these tools to get down today. The top left-hand side, you've got Gmail. So I use Gmail. Search. I use search, and I press the speech button, and you can ask it what you need to do. That's using the speech API. It's natural language, and it's artificial intelligence. As you go down, there's many, many instances of how AI and machine learning is being used in Google. In fact, Google is a machine learning and artificial intelligence company. That's what it does now, in effect. So here's one example where machine intelligence has really improved recently. I don't know if people use Translate. It's an incredible tool. It works offline as well. You can point it, in this example here, you've got it pointing at the word exit, and you can see it's translating that with the same font and the same picture, but it's translating it into several different languages. It works in 40 or 50 different languages. It's incredible. The way this product has moved on this year is incredible. Stop using that word, but it is amazing. My dad owns a half share in a flat in France. I get the bills for it now. I'm trying to sort of sort these bills out. Most of them are easy to sort. I've got basic French, but I got something the other day, taxe d'habitation. It was quite difficult to understand. I just pointed my phone and it gave me the translation up on my phone. Pretty good. So as we go into the enterprise side, so we're looking at retailers here. How can retailers really use this? And I think people like to talk, they like to listen, and they like to see. So we've got to make anything we put in artificial intelligence needs to be really natural to use and simple and predictive. So here's an example, voice typing. My kids use this for their homework now. You can't have a simpler interface than just talking to the computer. And again, it's pretty inspirational the way that this product works now. The second one is photos. Anyone use Google Photos? Yeah. There is search in Google Photos. So if you want to say pictures of my daughter last week on the beach, whatever it might be, last Christmas on the beach, that works. It's amazing because it's just pixels in photos, but it's actually searching through those photos to get the information you need. I had a customer come in a couple of days ago. I worked with him in a previous business that he was working in, and I knew I had a picture of him. The only thing I could remember was he was wearing a hat at the time. So I searched on man with hat. If you do that in your photos, it's pretty extraordinary what comes back. I'll give you that tip. I had about 12 photos came back. I've worn a hat a few times, more than I realised. But it did come back with only men with hats on, and it gave me that photo of Carl in that particular place. So this is my dog. This is Rufus. He's 7 years old. He's lying on a cushion. The cushion's pretty brown, as you can see. This is something you can try yourself. If you just go to Vision API on the Google website, you can upload any type of picture. And as you can see, it's pulled out, he's a dog, he's a Vizsla, and several other characteristics about him. And this is really where Google's going with all this type of thing. If you have humans in this picture, you can pick out their sentiment. So are they happy? Are they sad? Are they confused? That type of thing. Smart replies. Again, we use this in Google, but basically you can have, in this particular instance, somebody's emailed you to say, can you send me this particular file? Rather than having to delve into your files, you can actually bring this, it will actually bring the folder up for you and allow you to send it through. It'll also suggest the words of your reply if you need it to do that. So it's all this thing about kind of saving 10 seconds here, saving 10 seconds there, which is really going to help retailers and other businesses and consumers in their businesses in the way they go forward. So we're going to try and tie this a little bit more down to retail. So this is something, again, this is available now. There's a little button in the bottom right-hand corner of Google Sheets. It's called Explore. I really recommend, if you haven't tried this, just push that button. Every spreadsheet I receive, or used to receive, I should say, it was just rows and rows of data. It might be 50 columns, 100 rows. You're trying to visualize it, trying to see what it is. Only 2% of spreadsheets actually have any visualization in them. When you press that button, it uses AI to chart that, and it charts it in 5, 10 different ways. So some of them won't be useful to you, but some of them will be useful to you. And that will save you an enormous amount of time and also allow you as an individual to get information out of that spreadsheet. And I'm just thinking about sales figures in retail, which typically they're sort of sent around on spreadsheets. There's version 1, version 2, version 3. It's really difficult. Everyone's changing everything the whole time. This is one version in the cloud, and you press Explore, it charts it for you, and you move forward. Here's something one of our customers did recently. So they're using Vision API and Speech API. So one of the things you see in retail a lot is people coming into the store and they know more about your products than you do because the store colleagues haven't been able to be trained, or for whatever reason they're well clued up. So the store associate, the digital store associate, is able to take a particular camera, so it's a Panasonic on the left, point it at the screen and say, okay, Google, what is that? And it brings up exactly that model, it brings up its price, it brings up its score, and its pros and cons. Now, this guy still is interested, but he wants to look at something else. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you've got the Canon, which has got a 4.9. It's on for £499. So the store associate just says, compare these two products. So on the screen, they're able to compare those two products, answer questions, give feedback, take social input into that. And then going forward, they can then take payment using Apple Pay or Android Pay. They can issue a receipt. No barcodes involved. Everything's done digitally. And you've got a lot of showroomers coming into, particularly in electricals, people who are sort of looking. This thing can be done really quickly. This is live being tested now by some of our retail clients. And then Ocado, fantastic business. They've used Google services for a very long time. They get thousands of emails coming in every day to criticize, to compliment, all of those types of things. They've only got one email address, and there's no complicated form around this at all. It's just email what you want to tell us. What they've done is the natural language API, and they sort through all those thousands, tens of thousands of emails that come through. So if it says, I'm angry, it goes up the chain. If it says, I'm really sorry, I should have been there at 5 till 6 today, but I can't be there, it's going to go up the chain so the contact center can alert the driver. So it's really improving the customer service they can offer, but equally it's making it much better for the customer service representative who's previously having to sort through thousands and thousands of different emails. Now they can just have the most important ones are pushed out to them straight off. So really, just in summary, what we in Google think we can do for retail businesses, for any types of businesses really, is save 10 seconds over and over and over again in your businesses, in stores, and enable that business to save money, better customer service, all of those types of things. We have a large retail business who tested Google, and they gave two teams. They gave one the old tools and one the new tools to try and put together a proposal. The old team took 15 hours. The team using the Google tools took 3 hours, and they pushed forward with this product on the back of that and have rolled it out globally. So the final thing I'd say really also is this is not just about making people automatons and hugely overproductive. I would say personally, I'm twice as productive as I used to be, and I'm getting more productive. But I want to use that time personally as well as professionally. So allowing me to get home for dinner on occasion is a good thing. These tools really help you to live the way you want to live. Thank you very much.